Hello, I'm going to show you how to do twice knit knitting. This is a technique that I use in my Rocketship pattern. This is used only on round 1 of the main body. And the reason that you use this technique is that it is not stretchy, so it basically cinches in the tail so it doesn't just sort of squish out when you fill it with stuffing. It stays cinched in a little bit, which gives you this shape to the tail. And to start off, you're just going to go like you're doing a regular knit 2 together. You'll go through the first 2 loops and pull your yarn through, but instead of sliding both of these off, you'll just slide the first one off, leaving the second one on the needle. And then you'll do the same thing. You'll work a knit 2 together, going through both stitches, pull yarn through, but only slide this first stitch off the needle. And you'll continue around doing the same thing. It's going to be a little bit tricky since you're working with smaller needles than you normally would for a worsted weight yarn. You're trying to get a pretty dense fabric, but unfortunately that means that it's going to be a little bit hard on your hands. So at the end I'm going to show you a workaround if you really just don't like the twice knit knitting for this part of the project. And I'm not going to work all the way around because that's going to take a long time, and really you're not doing anything different for the remainder of the round. You're just continuing to do these knit 2 togethers and sliding just the first stitch off the needle. And when you get to the end of the round, you'll just, instead of knitting 2 together, you'll just knit the last stitch. So if, for instance, the end of the round was the last stitch that I have on this needle, I would get to the end, and take some care not to split your yarn. It's really easy to do. Alright, so yeah, if this was the end of the round, I would slide this last stitch off, and since I only have 1 stitch remaining in the round, I'll just knit that one regularly. And you should have, when you're done with the row, you should have the same number of stitches that you started with. So if I started with 12 stitches, I have 12 live stitches still here. Now, if you decide that you don't want to go the twice knitting route, just instead of doing that, replace round 1 by just knitting all the way around, and then take a piece of matching waste yarn and go along the purl side of the fabric and run the waste yarn around each stitch. Pull it just tight enough so the fabric won't stretch, and tie it in a knot so it basically reinforces the fabric.